Hey everyone, I hope you're all having an amazing week. Our guest for this week's video is Rachel. I met Rachel at a camp that we used to go to when we were both kids, and then we both worked at later in life. And Rachel is just going to give us a little snippet of what her story looks like and how she really learned what it meant to just love God in the highs and in the lows and just continually pursuing and following Him and His plan for your life. So I hope you guys are encouraged.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel. So I grew up in a Christian family, and at about the age of 4, my grandma passed away, and I was so young, I didn't know what was going on. And by the end of the funeral, I was asking my mom questions, so she sat me down on my bed, and I remember her talking to me about the fact that there is sin because, or there's death because there is sin, and that we're all sinners and that we needed a savior. So at the ripe age of 4, I realized that I was a sinner and I realized that I needed a savior. And so that day I got saved. Of course, I went through a lot of struggles through my years growing up, and I lacked this fire, but I wanted it. I really wanted to love God. I wanted to know Him better, but I just had such a hard time keeping that desire. And so for many years, I just felt like I'd go to camp and then I would have this fire for God and then I would lose it. When I turned 17, I decided the summer before my senior year of high school that I was going to work at camp all summer. And when I did that, God really revealed to me that life is about Him, that it's not this spiritual high that, you come up, you go up and down and things like that, but that it's just life. In the highs and in the lows, you are serving God and you are loving God. And when He revealed that to me, He ended up pushing me to go to Bible college. And I went to Faith Baptist Bible College in Ankeny, Iowa for 5 years. One of those years I lived in Peru for a whole year. And God really just stretched me and taught me so much more about Him. I left with so much knowledge about theology and about God, and I have just continued to grow in my relationship with Him since then. And I love God now more than I ever have since I was 4 years old. And I just hope to pursue and love Him the rest of my life. Thanks.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to highlight a couple of things that Rachel said in her testimony there. One of the things that she talked about, she said, life in the highs and in the lows, you serve God and you love God. Our relationship with God, or how we respond to God, shouldn't be reliant on whether we're going through a high or low. And I just loved how she said that when she came to the realization that it doesn't matter what's going on in your life, you still choose to serve God and you still want to love Him. And I just thought that was really awesome, because the truth in that is that no matter what is happening in our lives, God still loves us, no matter what. And so our relationship with Him should not waver on the events of our life. And I just wanted to read for you guys. So James 1:12 says, "Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love Him." So that verse is talking about remaining steadfast when trials come, and how when those trials or those lows do come, we are able to remain steadfast because we have Christ, who is our foundation. And so if we rely on Him and we remain steadfast in our faith with Him, then when comes the end of life, we will receive that crown of life, which He's promised to those that have loved Him and served Him. So that's just my encouragement for you today. If you're going through a low in your life, if you're going through a high in your life, no matter what it may be, continue to love God and serve God, because He is always faithful. And like always, if you guys have any questions or comments, or want to reach out about anything that you heard today or in any of my other videos, please feel free to reach out either through the comments below or through my Instagram, which is in the description below. So thank you and have a great week.